It's all my fault. I drove man away.
He truly was a master of spectacle.
Yes, he was a hero. I just couldn't see it.
Transformers Rise of the Beast takes the franchise to the 90s. When the Autobots are stranded on Earth, they come across a teleportation MacGuffin and must join forces with animal Transformers to get it, before evil Transformers use it to teleport in a massive threat that will consume the Earth. So, you know, the usual. And to be painfully honest, Rise of the Beast is not very good. In fact, it's way behind the earlier movies. The ones that can be called movies. There's really only like one truly new good thing here, which is the way they repurpose central conceptual elements to create something fresh. Like how the geography and culture are something different now. Like how Optimus is now this morally incomplete leader who hates humans, as well as even the human hero.
You brought a human here? We should not be relying on a human. Because of you, Unicron will now use the...
Aside from that though, it's all mostly the same as before, except less than before. The CGI is less, the action is less, the characters are less, the finale is less, even the comedy is less despite being mostly the same. I mean, they even fumbled the golden formula that made the earlier movies so amazing. Michael Bay's signature style of Triple B filmmaking. Really, the only thing here there's more of is confusion, with endless questions without answers, like how come there are a bazillion different Transformers MacGuffins hidden on Earth? How come this MacGuffin conveniently sends out a skybeam that the evil Transformers in another galaxy somehow reach before the Autobots who are in the same city? How come Pete Davidson is able to be in every movie and in every woman? I just don't get it. But all that said, what I'd argue to be the main issue with Rise of the Beast that created these individual problems and led it to be the biggest Transformers box office letdown yet, is that it's quite possibly the emptiest movie in Hollywood. And what I mean by empty is also that it's physically empty. Everywhere we go is strangely devoid of any signs of life. But more than that, I mean that the movie as a whole feels empty, barren, devoid of any proper substance. As in, there are things on screen, yet none of it means anything. Not on the Transformer side, not on the human side, not on the side of anything. And so today, let's try to figure out what that means, how emptiness ruins the Transformers and the humans here to the point where it makes Bayformers seem like Oscar-worthy material. Here's why Rise of the Beast is a barren movie full of nothing, and why, while watching it, you mostly just feel bored and confused. Firstly, the reason the Transformers here feel like barren hunks of clashing metal is because they're lacking properly consistent dynamics, power dynamics, and relationship dynamics. The power dynamics side of this means that the conflicts between Transformers are left powerless because we have no perception of how those conflicts are weighed. In the opening, for example, the movie ignores Autobots in favor of showcasing the new animal bots as they're attacked by an evil henchman of the planet Transformer that eats planets.
Pizza time.
And I get the choice to do this. You can convey the exposition and also establish these new characters in terms of the levels they play on. You know, when the evil henchman kills the leader of the animal bots, that proves him to be a badass warrior.
Benefits of serving the almighty Unicron.
Except it doesn't, because we have no conception of the overall level we're playing on here. The movie just began. The animal bots haven't done anything. The leader destroys one Scorpion grunt and then gets destroyed. That's it. I don't know what that means per se.
And actually, it wasn't even the leader who destroyed the Scorpion, so there's no sense whatsoever of how tough it was for the henchman to destroy him, or how tough the henchman is.
It's not like how the first movie began with a Decepticon grunt demolishing a US airbase to establish a sense of where we are in terms of power levels.
I understand.
To highlight this more, look at the next Transformer fight where the Autobots come across the henchman and his helpers. It's supposed to be this big reveal where the bad guys are actually stronger. Except, again, it doesn't really work because the context is missing. Optimus and the Autobots haven't really clashed with anyone so far because the opening ignored them, so I don't know what level they play on. The helpers weren't in the opening for some reason, so I don't know what level they play on. The henchman was in the opening, but also without proper context, so that's not too helpful here either. As a whole, I'm seeing a lot of fighting, but I just don't know what any of it means. One helper swings his weapon at Bumblebee. Is that a big thing? I don't know. Another helper snatches Mirage into the sky. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. When the henchman destroys Bumblebee, is it because the henchman is a badass warrior or because Bumblebee is incompetent? I don't know. I don't have the groundwork to understand. All I'm able to make out is a bunch of blank CGI smashing together. To hammer this in, look at the moment where the henchman corrupts the Birdbot to attack the Gorillabot and the other human. It's meant to be this big moment because the Gorillabot must fight another top-notch universal fighter. Except, again, it doesn't seem like that, because so far, for some reason, only other Transformers have been built up. This Gorillabot has done nothing so far. This Birdbot has pretty much done nothing so far. It's like two unranked contenders going head-to-head. I just don't know what it means. Not like I do in Bayformers, for example, when Optimus takes on all the Decepticons alone. The relationship dynamic side of this is the same, except more about emotion. The Gorillabot's fight with the Birdbot is meant to be this heavy moment because he has to take down his friend to save another friend. Except, in the audience's eyes, none of them are friends. We've never even seen them properly interact. We have no idea what it means for the Gorillabot to destroy the bird. We have no idea what to feel. Whereas when Optimus throws his broken body at all the Decepticons to save Sam, who he has an actual relationship with, we know exactly what to feel.
I'll take you all on!
Or as another example, look at how Optimus's guilt of stranding the Autobots on Earth is driving him to be morally conflicted.
Earth was supposed to be a pit stop, you know, a place for us to regroup and rejoin the war back home. Prime feels like it's his fault we've been stranded here, like he has to.
He could be powerful, except for, again, the lacking context. What do you mean they're trapped on Earth? How did that happen, and why can't they just leave like everyone else seems to be able?
You need to turn into a helicopter or
a rocket
or something.
How is them being trapped affecting them? What problems and pains is it causing? I don't know. And that's a problem. If the audience lacks basis for both sides of the dynamics and everything involved with them feels empty. When you have a finale where robots with no proper relationships fight an army of other robots who haven't been established to be able to even harm humans, it means nothing. It's literally just hunks of CGI metal colliding on screen. Secondly, the reason the humans here feel barren is because the few humans that actually exist don't seem to have a real active existence beyond the confines of the plot. A great example is the museum worker, who's such a terrible character that the movie would have improved by simply axing her. As her introduction showcases, her gist is that she's this unappreciated museum worker who knows a lot about and is excited a lot about archaeology, without any kind of basis or explanation. She can identify professional fakes with a quick look.
The Da Vinci sketch is legit. The painting's a copy.
She can pinpoint locations exactly as the plot requires.
It's the symbols on the stone. They were only ever recorded in one other place in the world, the Inca Temple of the Sun.
She can identify the make and model of stone without issue.
That stonework is 17th century. What we're looking for is...
And also, she's very enthusiastic. She's willing to steal her boss's ID to run tests on the MacGuffin statue just for the heck of it. She's willing to go with giant robots to Peru to find the origin of the statue. She's willing to fight a burglar to protect museum property.
It looks like you're trying to steal museum property.
All of which would be fine, except for the fact that we have no idea why any of that is so.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
We have no clue where she got her knowledge or enthusiasm. We have no conception of her life outside this movie. All we know about her life is that she apparently once had a dad, and that's why she's now going to save the world.
I figured if he is somewhere watching, then seeing his daughter do something crazy like this would definitely make him proud.
Blanket statement is when you make a statement that you try to use to cover all situations.
All we know about her smarts is that she learns from everyone around her.
If you keep your eyes and your ears open, life will show you everything you need to know.
Despite always being proposed to be smarter than everyone around her.
I do not know where the other
It's in Peru.
As a whole, she kinda just knows things and does things because she's the kind of smart, industrious female character required by the plot. She may seem active on screen, she may seem to push the narrative on her own, yet because we don't know the basis for any of that, it doesn't work like that. Without that contextual basis to make us understand, it's just annoying to see her keep the statue from the other hero while making these annoying sounds. Like, lady, just give him the thing so we can get on with this. Why are you even here? On the other side, we have the main hero, No.
Come on, man. No names over the airways.
Oh, the main hero, Sonic, who is a bit better, but not very good either. He has a bunch of defining gist to give him personality in the plot, but again, without proper basis outside the plot. He's proposed to be a gifted repairman, yet he never repairs anything meaningful, so that's not a real thing. He's proposed to be an ex-soldier, yet he never offers any insight into his military career, so that's not a real thing.
He does not look like a soldier.
He's supposed to have trouble being a team player, yet we don't see him try to be in a team or have trouble doing so it's not a real thing. The only real thing about Sonic, the only real person he seems to actually know and interact with is his sick brother who needs money to get hospital treatment, which on default setting is like the most basic writing template to use. And even there, I mean, how's the brother even sick? What does that mean? What are the consequences? I don't know. I guess he can't play video games.
Playing that game too much. Give it a rest, you know what I'm saying? So your hand can take a break.
I'm gonna beat it.
As a whole, much like the museum worker, Sonic just kind of is in the movie without a proper existence of his own to justify being in it. He may seem active at first glance. He's stealing a car to get money to treat his brother, and that's how he gets involved. But it's mostly
fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
It's more like he steals a random car someone else tells him to steal, and then randomly in that moment,
Calling all Autobots.
the plot happens to kick in and pull him along. He doesn't earn his place in the movie by being who he is. It's more like, well, the world is ending and I have a brother, so I better join this plot of saving the world to save my brother.
It's my planet. I'm going.
Blanket statement is when you make a statement to use to cover all situations.
The point is that for characters to have value in a story, they need to have value outside the story. Who are they and why are they as they are? What's a usual day for them? You don't have to show everything, but you as the writer should know enough to know where to write from. The reason Sam, compared to these two, seems like an Oscar-worthy character is because at least he comes off as a real person with a real existence of his own. Whereas if that existence isn't there, if characters exist just as is necessitated by the plot, all they are is empty necessitated shells, and nobody cares. Thirdly, the main reason this movie feels empty is because most of the stuff in it is empty. This means literal empty places, empty museum yards, empty New York City apartment alleys, empty industrial areas, empty secret cave entrances and empty roads and empty jungles and empty volcano finale battlegrounds. I mean, isn't this supposed to be New York? How is there nobody here to see this outside their window? Jungles and volcanoes, sure, that's a creative choice, though still not a very good one, because the finale of Dark of the Moon, for example, absolutely dunks on it. This also means empty stakes, like with the Transformers having to hide from humans. Mirage is hiding in plain sight. Optimus talks about keeping a low profile.
Way to be incognito.
Even the villains are staying out of human view, for no clear reason why. There are no perceptible consequences to being caught. There is no Sector 7 capturing Transformers like in the original. The movie just kind of proposes that to be a thing and has the robots act accordingly. This also means empty narrative threads, like how Sonic's mom is in one scene and then disappears, like how Sonic's neighbor enlists him on this plot-vital carjacking without any substance behind it. Why is the neighbor targeting this car? Where did he find out about it? What's he gonna do with it? What does he need money for? Why does he then just disappear? Well, never mind, it's not a real thing like Sam looking for a first car for his 16th birthday. It's just some random BS to get the plot moving. This also means empty obstacles, like how the heroes have to infiltrate a Peruvian village through heavy security.
Y'all never make it 2 blocks.
There's human security all around the church. You'll never get through.
Except, of course, there is no heavy security. It's not a real thing. They walk through the crowd, they open the cave entrance in this empty yard, and then even in the cave they just walk to a chest to find it empty.
Your struggle is pointless.
No cave traps to evade, no security to avoid, no proper obstacles at all.
That was easy.
This also means empty consequences and sacrifices. Bumblebee loses his life early on, but then turns out it doesn't matter. He's lying on this Transformers rock, I guess, and now he's suddenly alive again, because death amounts to nothing here. Optimus sacrifices himself to destroy the evil planet at the end.
Retreat to safety. I will destroy the key myself.
Prime, no!
But then afterwards, he's still fine. The Gorilla Bot comes over to help, and then they simply leave. Okay, but then why didn't they plan to do that to begin with? Why make a big deal out of something that clearly doesn't need to be a big deal? Right, because we needed something big for the end, and it may as well be this. Whatever. I guess I'm beating a dead Transformer horse by now, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to see the full movie for yourself.
You what?
While keeping your eyes on this very topic. Whether you like the movie or not, focus on how most of what it does and most of what's here, whether it's big or small, has no substance. It's literally just stuff on screen that means nothing. You do that, because honestly, I've already kind of run out of interest to do more of it myself. All hail the king of cinema, Michael Bay.
Hey, what I'm doing right now is I'm thinking about a wicked ass action scene. See if I can get an audience going. You know what? Today, like a Christmas present, this showed up. I'm one of the first directors to try this out.
Ready, go one more time. Ready, Mike? 1, 2, 3. Boom! Bam!
But since today's video was pretty negative, let's end on something more constructive to help Paramount, the people behind this movie. Since you guys are pretty low on cash right now, I got the perfect thing for you. Today's sponsor, Dave.com. Essentially, Dave is an easy-to-use banking app that's leveling the financial playing field, and it's especially known for its extra cash account, where you can advance yourself up to $500 in 5 minutes or less without credit checks or late fees.
Congratulations. Mom!
For example, let's say you need to pay your $60 gym membership today, but you don't have that yet because your next paycheck doesn't come until next week.
I know we're a little behind on the bill.
Well, you can take that $60 from Dave, and then when your next paycheck comes, Dave takes it back to settle it up. Unlike with traditional banks, there is no interest, but rather a membership subscription of $1 per month to have Dave have your back.
Thanks.
So, whether you're Paramount needing money for your next movie, or the type of person who lives from paycheck to paycheck,
Give me rent. I have a paycheck due this week.
it can be very useful to have Dave as a backup for when you need it, as long as you can be smart about when and for what to use it. If so, download the Dave app or go to dave.com/filmento to try it out now. Dave.com/filmento, you can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less, no credit checks or interest or late fees.
And for detailed terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Thank you and have a great day.